Hi, welcome to the best of IPMAT series. Today we picked up a question of averages. Okay, question is big. There's a lot of data given, and if you do it using the traditional method, it is going to take time. But still, I want you to take a shot, see what you can do with the question, and pause the video, see what you can do with the question, and then I will see you on the other side with the solution.
Hello everyone. If you like our content and want to experience the IMS pedagogy, then join our zero fee prep program that will give you access to concept videos, sectional test and full length mock test and many more for free. To avail this, please click on the link mentioned under the description box below. Happy learning.
Okay, so let's look at the solution. I'm sure you've read the question by now, at least if not started with the question. So there are 30 students and each of them have 5 subjects or 5 courses that they have to enroll for, and it's not really optional. Everybody has to enroll for all courses. Okay, so 30 students and 5 courses, so there are 150 combinations. S1, student 1 course 1, student 1 course 2, student 1 course 3, student 2 course 1, student 2 course 2 and so on. If you do that, it's going to be 30 into 5, which is 150. Correct. So there are 150 entities and the instructor has given an exam to these students and they've scored 80% marks out of 200. Okay, so 80% out of 200 is 160. So theoretically speaking, we can say that each of these 150 entities student course, okay, they've scored 160. So each student has scored 160 in every subject. Correct. That's what we can think when they say that the average is 80%. So the normal way to do this question would have been to find out the total. So the total is going to be 5 into 30 into 160. Correct. This is the old total when the average was 80. Now, the new total is going to be, they say that some 2 students applied for reval and none of their marks reduced. So, at worst, the marks could have been same, but obviously not for both of them. If for both of them the marks are same, then the average would not have increased. There would have been 0 increase. Okay, so at worst it can be 0 for one of them and the other guy got all of them. Okay, but now the marks have reduced. Then the average has become 80.02. Which means the new score that everybody has theoretically taken. Okay, so when they say that average has become 80.02, again we can theoretically say that each student scored 80.02% in every subject. Okay, so it's 80.02% means 160.04 marks in every subject. So the new total is going to be 5 into 30 into 160.04. Correct. So then if you subtract the older value minus older value from the newer value, divide by 150 and then by 150 rather, okay, you will get the difference. Now that difference has to be again divided by the number of students to get to how many students have scored. I don't really want to do it using that method. For averages, I generally do my questions thinking of each of entity as a box. Okay, just imagine that there are groups of boxes in front of you. How many entities? So let's say if the question says that there are 7 children in the class and each of them have 11 chocolates. So I will imagine that there are 7 boxes and there are 11 chocolates in each of them. That's the way I go about it. Okay. So right now in this question, what I would want you to observe or imagine is that there are boxes. Imagine there are 150 such boxes. Okay, so there are box 1 to box 150. Each box has 160 in it. Okay, 160 marks, the original value. Now, after reval, the average, now, sorry, I forgot to tell you the rule. Now, there is an unsaid rule that all of these boxes should have the same value at any point of time. None of the box can have more or less. Okay, that's the unsaid rule between these boxes. Now, so they say that the average has become 80.02, which means we know that the marks will become 160.04. Since the average is 160.04, each box will now have 0.04 given to them extra. Correct. So what is that increase in the total marks? Increase in the total marks is 0.04. And how many boxes to put into? 150 such boxes to put into. So 150. Correct. So it is 150 into 0.04. Had it been 150 into 4, it would have been 600. We put decimal after 2 places. So the effective increase is only 6. Clear? That's the increase. Now, what is the question asking? The maximum possible increase in the marks for either of the two students. Either of the two students. As I told you earlier, one student could have got 0, which means there is no change, and the other guy could have got 6. The total increase is 6. So it is possible that 0, 6, 1, 5, 2, 4 and so on and so forth. Because we want to maximize the increase for one, we can say that the other student did not have any change in the marks, and hence the student which had the change, the maximum possible increase is 6 itself. So the answer is 6. So imagine the saving of the effort from this calculation into the calculation of 150 into 0.04. Clear? So this question in the exam I would have solved orally without touching my pen. Okay. The moment you see, the moment you imagine that there are 150 boxes, each has 160 marks. Now the average is becoming 80.02, and hence the marks are becoming 160.04. Okay. So it is effective increase of only 0.04, but in all the 150 boxes. So it's 150 into 0.04. Answer is 6. So I hope, I like this question because it's a typical classic IPMAT Indore question, not really heavy in calculations if you know the correct approach. If you don't know the approach, you obviously are going to, go all your way doing the calculations and then reaching the same answer. But if you know the right approach, this question should be done under 30-40 seconds, maximum a minute. If you're slow in reading the question, that's the only time you're going to spend in this time reading it. Otherwise, there is absolutely zero calculations to be done as such. So yeah, so I hope you've understood this question. I hope you are able to solve the replica question also. If you do that, post the answer in the comments and we will get you with the solution. So happy learning and see you.